This is the Fish Tank channel. I'm going to try to weave this in with aquarium fish as best as I can, but I was a history major, so I would like to start with a powerful quote that I think symbolizes the time that we are in right now. Now, as you all well know by now, we are under attack, not just as a nation, but as a world. So I would like to pull in a quote from Winston Churchill during World War II, when he said, when the world was under attack, but if we fail, then the whole world, including the United States, including all that we have known and cared for, will sink into the abyss of a new dark age, made more sinister and perhaps more protracted by the lights of perverted science. Let us therefore brace ourselves to our duty. I'm gonna say that again. Brace ourselves to our duties, and so bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its commonwealths last for thousands of years, men will say this was their finest hour. Folks, Winston Churchill gave that speech while the British Empire was being bombed in World War II. He said, this is our finest hour, while they were all suffering. He also said, and I'm saying it again here, let us therefore brace ourselves to our duties. What is your duty? I want to bring a little bit of humor into this right now. Your duty is very simple. Don't screw this up. The biggest thing you can do is stay at home, lay around, and watch TV or YouTube videos. Okay, that is your duty right now. I'm going to attempt to pull this into aquariums. Pretend you go to the pet store and every single fish in the aquarium you're about to buy, they tell you every single one of the fish in here could potentially kill all of your fish in your tank at home. Would you buy those fish? No. And if you did buy those fish, what would you do with those fish? You would take those fish home and you would quarantine them for a good long while. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible, folks. You have to stay home. You have to stay home. There's a reason the kids are out of school. There's a reason governors are shutting everything down. There's a reason I have not one, not two, but 3 different flights coming in from different countries with my plants that I can't get right now, folks. It's time to shut it down. I want to talk about some things that should scare you for just a little bit. Then I want to talk about some things that I believe prove potentially this could be our finest hour if we do our civil duty. Let me get personal real quick. Let me get woo. I'm about to say some stuff that I believe should scare you, but I want to point out it's extra hitting home for me. I want to talk about Kentucky, and then I want to talk about that juxtaposed with New York, particularly New York City. Folks, I've been to 3 Reefpaloozas up in New York, twice to the aquatic experience. One time my car even broke down on the way and I still had a good time up there. I absolutely love the fish tank people of New York. Great customers, great people. I currently sell plants to Manhattan Aquarium, Pacific Aquarium, Monster Aquarium on occasion, Aquarium Village, a lot of Bensons up there, as well as Absolutely Fishing, Ocean Gallery, and Fins and Feathers in New Jersey. These are my people, all right? These are my fish tank people, not even including all of the beautiful fish tank people that I know and love that purchase online. Not to mention the significance of New York to me is this. Before I quit my job to do the fish tank thing full time, I decided to ask the prophet, the legendary blogger, Mr. Seth Godin, his thoughts on what I was doing. I was very nervous at this time because I was about to make a big leap. I was at his Q&A event and I raised my hand and he said, Dustin, tell us about your fish. And I told him the whole what's up fish tank people thing, to which everybody in the audience laughed. And then he told me this, pick yourself. Seth Godin's up in New York. I got a lot of love for New York. Here's what's scary to me and what's going on in New York. Okay, I live in Kentucky, but I want to give the parallel of this to what's going on in New York. In the state of Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, it's reported as of yesterday, 124 people have the coronavirus here in Kentucky, and I think 16 have died. Okay, of that, 2,000 people, it's estimated, have been tested. Okay, 124 people have it, 16 people have died, and 2,000 people have been tested. Let me compare that to the news and what is going on in the state of New York right now. In New York state of mind, on my mind. 20,875 people have it. 157 people have died. Okay, so as many more people in New York State have died from the coronavirus than allegedly have it in my state. Of those 20-some thousand, almost 21,000 people that have it, 12,305 of them are in New York City at the time of this. The people that are tested in most states, if you test 100 people, 8 people will show up positive. If you test 100 people in the New York City area, of those 100 people, 28 people show up positive. Folks, this is a serious issue, and I'm going to go on record right now, as of this being filmed March 23rd, that it is going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. Yes, folks, New York is the epicenter of the coronavirus here in the United States. But here is the good news, folks. This is New York. This is New Yorkers. This is, in the words of Nasty Nas, I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death, the city that doesn't sleep. And also Nas, quote, the New York state of mind. These are New Yorkers, okay, folks? These are people who make decisions quickly. These are people who talk fast and act faster. If there's any state in the United States that can handle this kind of punch, it is the state of New York. My state has allegedly tested around 2,000 people, and that number's off because more labs are coming on and testing people outside of the state. New York was testing 1,000 people a day. They have ramped their testing up to 16,000 people a day. It's estimated they are doing 25% of the coronavirus testing in the United States is being done in New York. If there is one place in the United States that can handle this, in the words of the Wu-Tang Clan from the slums of Shaolin, New York ain't nothing to f with. That's right, folks. Please stay home, stay clean, and quarantine. I would love to get your feedback of what you are doing while you are at home quarantining. Please drop me a comment. Prayers, shout outs, big props to anyone who's doing anything proactive in this. I want to end this video on a positive note. While the United States leads the world in new coronavirus cases, it also leads the world in everything else, including testing, including the ability to rise up and defeat the coronavirus. I got emotional yesterday talking with someone who was telling me about how a GM plant in Indiana is converting over to start making ventilators. I hear Tesla's making ventilators, and 40,000 people came out of either retirement or the private sector to go help in New York City and New York State with what they've got going on there. Everybody stay clean, stay safe, and quarantine. Tank on.